Hello there, everybody. This is Sophia Mona Lisa of the Golden Ray Center and the Rose Wheel Mystery School. And it's really a pleasure to bring you this overview of the full video journal that I gave on the creative energies for December. I mean, it's hard to believe that we are already in the last month of the year. This is the last creative energies video journal for 2023. So it'll be exciting to start doing them again in January of 2024. So this month, what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak to just the major cosmic events, because you can see, based on previous months' overviews, we've not had anything like this going on from month to month that has been just so incredibly catalyzing. So I know that's a lot to look at here on the screen, but I'm going to break it down for you. The first thing I want to bring into your awareness is that there are some luminary bodies that are going to be stationing direct this month. The first one is right here, Neptune, stationing direct in Pisces. Neptune is the Lord of Pisces. And so, Pisces is the source field, the unified source field, that which people refer to as God. And Neptune, as the pipeline to source, is really your direct connection with your divine self. And what's fascinating about this is, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I've always used the language, which quite frankly, I will say I borrowed from the Abraham Hicks material, as our souls being an extension of source. And Sophia corrected me. She says that is actually a misnomer. If you think about an extension, like an extension of your arm, for instance, you would be looking at your fingertips. She says, no, it's not an extension of source, that you are an integrated part of source. Of course, if we are divine beings and we are fractals of the whole, we are an integrated part of source. And so Neptune allows that communication to flow effortlessly between our human selves and our divine selves and source. And if the pipeline's clogged up, what do? You bring in Roto-Rooter and you snake it out. So that's what's been happening this year for humanity. All of these pipelines to source and to your divine selves have been getting snaked out. And sometimes it's a messy, stinky, uncomfortable, unpleasant experience. And other times it's, okay. The other luminary body that's stationing direct this month is Chiron. Chiron is stationing direct in Aries, and then just a few days later, Jupiter is stationing direct in Taurus. So those are the luminary bodies stationing direct. Real quickly, because we just talked about Chiron stationing direct in Aries, let's talk about the lunar events. The new moon on December 12th is going to be in Sagittarius, and the full moon, which is the day after Christmas, is going to be in Cancer, the same day that Chiron is stationing direct in Aries. Pardon me. What I love about this full moon, on a personal note, is this full moon is within about less than 6 minutes of my natal moon in Cancer. So I am like on pins and needles to see how I am going to be experiencing the illuminating frequencies of this full moon in Cancer, as it illuminates the seeds of consciousness that were planted in the new moon in Sagittarius. And of course, in Sagittarius, that has to do with the truth of who you are. And that truth is that you are a divine being having a human experience. So let's look at Mercury, because Mercury is the star this month. If you could see the slide with all of the activations taking place with Mercury, it would be overwhelming. One of the reasons why Mercury is the star this month is because he's in the midst of his synodic cycle. Again, if you've heard other videos of mine, you know that the Mercury synodic cycle is made up of 4 cosmic aspects. The first one took place in, I think it was October, if I remember correctly. That was the superior conjunction. That starts it off. That's when Mercury and the sun come together up here above the horizon. That's why it's called a superior conjunction. The next event, the second event, is this Mercury evening elongation. That's going to be happening in 3 days. And this happens, what happens here is kind of Mercury kind of like comes to a standstill before he dips below the horizon to prepare you for the underworld journey. And so this preparation is very much like if you're going on a cross-country road trip, right? You're going to make sure the tires have plenty of air, the spares in good condition, you got plenty of fuel in the tank, you got your snacks, you got your drinks, right? You're getting prepared for this big journey. And that's what's happening here with Mercury's evening elongation. And then this huge event here, the day after the winter solstice, and really these 2 events are informing each other because they're happening within hours of each other. And while the winter solstice, which is marked by the sun standing at 0 degrees of Capricorn, on the linear timeline is happening on the 21st, and this Mercury inferior conjunction, which is Mercury and the sun coming together below the horizon, is happening on the 22nd. Because there's not many hours between the 2 events, what's happening is that this inferior conjunction is less than 1 degree conjunct this winter solstice point of 0 degrees of Capricorn. And so this winter solstice is going to like fry your hair. Right, like I'm seeing like the Griswold Christmas. Wasn't there a scene where somebody was like plugging in the lights and their hair went That's what's going to happen here, because this inferior conjunction is the most potent, most transformative, most alchemical point of the entire Mercury synodic cycle. Has a 3-day window, the day before, the day of, and the day after. So this is going to be absolutely just like fireworks all over the place when this happens. And not to mention all of the other aspects that are also very powerful aspects happening with Mercury this month. Now, the other big event that's happening here, and oh, by the way, while we're still talking about Mercury, let me just bring your awareness here. The day after the new moon is when Mercury's going to station retrograde, okay? So that you know that. And when this inferior conjunction happens, Mercury is in its retrograde motion when it comes together with the sun in the underworld. Now, what I didn't mention is parenthetically, I'm identifying the evening elongation as the Negretto stage, the inferior conjunction as the Albedo stage. We are really diving deep into alchemy with this new Leo divine royalty goddess journey as a part of the Venus synodic cycle. And so because Mercury and Mars both step forward, asking me to be included because they're desiring to come into conscious equal partnership with us, along with Venus. These are the fast moving personal planets. We are also including above and beyond the regular alchemy teachings, the alchemy that is associated with the Mercury synodic cycle, which is in stages, not steps. There's 7 alchemical steps. There are actually 4 alchemical stages, but in the Mercury synodic cycle, based on the work that Gary P. Caton has done, he has brought that down to 3 stages, and the next stage, which will happen in January, when we have Mercury's morning elongation, that'll be the rubedo stage. So if you're interested in alchemy, I really encourage you to join us over on Patreon so that you can see the replays of all of those teachings. That's just an aside, since I have the parenthetical information there. So the other information here that is a big event is December 9th. The Venus gate activation of the heart chakra, which has traditionally been called the portal of compassion. Now, let me tell you what's going on with this. And this is huge, absolutely huge. For those, and I'm going to kind of get ahead of myself because my next slide, which I might as well show you and then back up, is all about the Christ Heart. Oops, sorry, went too far. The Christ Heart mentorship program that Sophia inspired me to do. And it's built around this whole new Aries Libra series of eclipses from this year going forward 2 years. And that's on that path of conscious equal partnership. So this is what we've discovered. I've discovered, as Sophia has revealed it to me, going through the steps, going through the process, is back at that first eclipse on the Aries Libra axis, which happened in April. Oh my Lord. It's all of this source energy, all of this cosmos energy, light codes coming in from galaxy that are tens of millions of light years away. The cosmic Christ, the cosmic Sophia, the inner Christ, the inner Sophia, all conspiring together to open the gates for humanity to start aligning with their Christ heart. Now, I've talked about this heart chakra as the compassionate heart field, the 3D heart field. I've been talking about the Christ heart as the 5D plus heart field. And the truth of the matter is that the Christ heart is a part of our divine template. And remember what I've said in past videos, the dark forces cannot mess with the divine template. And so there's been a lot of interference. So, for instance, the second eclipse that happened in October, that ring of fire eclipse, what happens with eclipses is it brings humanity, brings us individually back onto our evolutionary pathway. But because of the eclipse that happened in April, where this whole divine plan now has been opened up to us to engage with in terms of our individual, our collective, our planetary ascension, liberation, enlightenment, whatever word works for you. Well, what happened was at this second eclipse in October, all of those who have soul missions for being way showers on this planet for humanity in this wave of liberation became activated. And now what's happening is with this Venus gate activation happening in 8 days, happening in Scorpio. Scorpio, who's ruled by Pluto. What is this about? This is about death and rebirth. It is about resurrection. And so all of those that didn't really like get the message, so to speak, at the solar eclipse in October are being brought online. They're getting calibrated between their 3D heart field and their Christ heart field, which is a part of their divine template at this Venus gate activation, which, by the way, just happens to also be the 17th strand of DNA activation. So this is super huge. This is why all of this stuff about, the Matrix movie and people not wanting to unplug from the Matrix and wanting to keep the Matrix and, going and all of that crap. You've got to remember that line from that movie is spell casting. It's not true. That message is to keep you in this hopeless, helpless spiral of disempowerment, because what I'm seeing through what's happened this year, from what I'm receiving from Sophia, what I'm seeing in the charts of my clients that are coming to me, not only for the Christ Heart mentorship program, which has been huge, but DNA activations, soul mission readings, all of this, we are maybe feeling like our nose is right here with the water level. But Sophia told me there is so much divine support, cosmic support, that humanity is standing on the shoulders of the Sophia-Christ consciousness, and it will not let the water level rise above our nose. And so it may feel very perilous, like any minute you're going under, but that is not going to happen, because that is not a part of the divine plan for humanity. So if any of you are interested in my Christ Heart Mentorship Program, let me just clarify, because I know I've talked about this before. You do not have to be a Patreon member to participate in this program. You do not have to be involved in the Galactic New Earth Project to participate in this program. And so I invite you to drop into your heart space. Just put your hand on your heart, close your eyes, take several slow breaths in, and then a longer breath out, and do that cycle of in-breath and out-breath, slow in, slower out, for at least 9 cycles. And as you are doing this breath practice, it's bringing your mental field and your heart field into coherence. And you can imagine yourself going deeper and deeper and deeper into your Christ heart field. And then ask your divine self, is this mentorship program the next best step for me? And if it is, there will be no doubt. And if it's not, that's okay too. And you will know that there's something else for you that will be coming in. So this is a great point to say, I hope all of you have a joyous holiday season. And I appreciate you listening to this overview. And I will see you in the new year. Take care. Sending you lots of love. Sending you all my blessings. Have a great end of your year. Bye-bye.